1, 2, testing, testing, check, check, 1, 2. Welcome everybody. How are y'all doing this fine evening? Welcome everybody. How are y'all doing tonight? Thanks for joining. Welcome. How's everyone doing tonight? Happy Friday night, everybody. We'll be unboxing the new Mini Taipan here in a little bit. If you want to stick around. We'll be unboxing the new Besttech Mini Taipan here shortly if y'all want to stick around. Welcome. Thanks for joining, everybody. I'm just sharpening up this AZ USA Cochise. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but it's 14C 28N. This is manufactured by Migron, and we're on the 800 grit diamond plate right now. Welcome everybody. Stick around because you won't want to miss this unboxing of the new Besttech Mini Taipan. What's up, Holly Taylors? I'm sorry about that. How's your night going? Mine's all right. Thanks for asking. Yeah, so this is the AZ USA Coach Ice, or Cochise, however you want to pronounce it, but it's manufactured by Migron, and it's in 14C28N. I believe it has a PVD coating, but this is the first time I'm sharpening this knife with my new Venture sharpening system by Wicked Edge, and it seems like the PVD coating is already starting to kind of rub off there. Either that or, yeah, I think it's starting to kind of wear a little bit just from being in the angle guides here, but I'm not really worried about that. Pretty soon we'll be taking a look at the new Besttech Mini Taipan that just released. This is the original Taipan, basically the full version model, or the full size model, and they just released a mini, which I'm about to open up for the first time, and we'll take a look at it. But yeah, right now I'm on the 800 grit diamond plate, and this thing could not cut paper at all before I started sharpening it. Let's see what it's at now. Oh yeah, way better. Holy moly, that's night and day difference. We'll give her a little bit more love here. We'll move up to the 1000 grit stone. Just flip her over like that. Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining. We'll be looking at the new Besttech Mini Taipan here pretty soon, so if you want to stick around to check that out, that would be awesome. It just released, so I'm pretty excited to check it out and share it with you guys. We're just doing a little sharpening here on my new Wicked Edge sharpening system. What have you been carrying around in the pocket, Holly? As a knife for your everyday carry. Oh, nice. Slip joints are awesome. I have a few, but not very many. I think I have like 3, maybe 4. What kind of slip joint do you carry? Is it like a real old one that was like passed down, or did you just find it somewhere? Does it have any like... Okay, cool. Yeah, I have a couple Jack Wolf slip joints, and forgot the other ones, but Jack Wolf is a pretty high tier, expensive brand. A lot of people have conflicting views or their own opinions about Jack Wolf, but I think they're pretty nice. They're pretty bougie though. They have a lot of expensive materials like carbon fiber and titanium, and so I think we're almost done with the 1000 grit here, and then we'll move up to the ceramic stone and strop it a little bit, and I think we'll call it good and see how she cuts this paper. We'll move over to the ceramic stone here. That was your first knife? That's cool. Nice. Yeah, slip joint is an awesome first knife to have. Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining. And it's so satisfying once you start feeling that edge just get buttery smooth and start gliding across the ceramic. That's when you really know this thing is going to be just an absolute laser beam. Do a few more passes here, give it a few passes on the strop, and I think she'll be pretty ready. All right, just Check it out. Moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what she can do. Seems like it's getting kind of caught up in some places, but for the most part, it seems pretty good. Let me get a different piece of paper here. Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, way better than before. I think if I just worked on her a little bit more, maybe she'd be in better shape, but I'm pretty satisfied with that for right now. All right, guys, I think it's time to open up the new Besttech Mini Taipan. What do y'all think? So here is the full-size version of the Taipan, and we'll be comparing it to this guy right here. Got a little patch sticker. Got our cleaning cloth, some paperwork, it looks like. Nice little sticker. Oh yeah, guys. Sheesh. Check that out. I'll put this guy up here. So I got the forgot if it's sandblasted or just like a tumbled finish on the scales. Really, it looks like a dark wash. Oh yeah. Stonewash on the, I think it's like a bead blasted stonewash finish on the blade. Man. And the size is really nice. I like it. Still got a hollow grind on the blade there. MagnaCut steel on the blade. Titanium frame lock. Still got that nice pocket clip with the flat spot underneath. The action seems really nice too. That's interesting. The top flipper there actually looks a little different. It's a little bit more angled. I think that actually might work. Oh my gosh, yeah. I think that works a little bit better than this guy right here, just because of that angle. Oops. Gosh, that thing rockets out. Reverse flick works really well. Let's check the thumb flick here. Yep. I think the thumb flick works maybe a little bit better. Hey, what's up, David? Thanks for joining, man. How's your night going? I think the thumb flick works a little bit better on the full-size one, because sometimes on the smaller knives, it's a little bit more awkward, and I think you have a little bit more chance of kind of locking yourself out because you're trying to hold it a certain way. But man, this little knife is sweet, and honestly, it's not even too small. It's it feels really good in the hand. It's, even though it's a mini, I can still get a full, you know, 4-finger grip on this thing and it be comfortable. And you can kind of choke up on this little flat spot right there. There's not a whole lot of room like the full size. The full size, that flat spot right there, you can choke up on there a little bit more comfortably, a little bit more room. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, David, but I'm glad your pain level is better tonight. What do y'all think about the new Mini Taipan? My most carried knife is my Ferro Monster Glideman DPD edition in Ultim. Oh man, I bet that thing looks sweet. There's a little side by side right there. There you go. Right now, my daily carry has been, let's see, this Psyop from Vosti. Been carrying it quite a lot actually, and I tightened the pivot on it so it's a little stiff, but this thing's a pretty sweet knife. S35 VN feels really good in the hands. Centering looks really good on this. Man, this is a sweet little knife. I figured it would be a pretty nice size. I really enjoy the overall length of this. I think it's really nice. It's not too small, and it's not too big. I think it's just right, honestly. What is your favorite knife ever by Holly? Man, that's a tough one. I go through phases, just like I'm sure everyone else does, and when you get a new knife that you've been drooling over for, you know, the past week, month, couple months or whatever, waiting for it to ship, it's hard. That's a really hard question. I mean, I have a bunch of knives here in front of me to show y'all, and a lot of these are some of my favorites. I mean, these aren't all my knives. This is probably some of my top favorite knives. So this is the One Track Mind Ire, and this is manufactured by Kunwu. Really awesome knife. Just insane action. Paramore. We got the Kaiser Milita here. Then we got the Kunwu Excalibur here, designed by Metal Complex. The Null Knives Voodoo. And I'm a huge sucker for like purple carbon fiber and 80s camo carbon fiber. This stuff just looks so nice, especially when you hit it with the UV light. Really cool. What else? I got the Devo knives. I think this is the Tallboy. Whoops. Some more purple haze, fat carbon, purple accents. And then I have a ton of Asher knives in just some of his different models. This one is the Spyro with the Warncliffe blade, but I just love this blue carbon fiber. I think it looks so nice. And then we got the Asher Knives A-Lock here, which is basically like a top liner lock. Then we got some of this silver twill carbon fiber. It just looks, again, so nice. What else? I forgot what this one is called, but this is like a tank of a knife. It's super beefy, S90V, Lambert design. That 80s camo carbon looks so nice, but very thick, beefy knife. Got a floating backspacer here that just looks really cool. This thing is a tank. Then we got Kunwu Padre here. This knife, the ergonomics on this knife feel incredible. Oh, that's cool. You train with karambits and Filipino stick fighting. That's interesting. I feel like that'd be a very good thing to know how to do because, you know, if you're out and about, I feel like sticks, I mean, you could find, I feel like you could find a stick relatively easy. And if you know how to use it, that can be super beneficial, you know, to defend yourself in a sticky situation or whatnot. I think canes are really cool, honestly, but I don't look like I need to be walking around with a cane just yet, at least. But I've seen some pretty badass canes. What is, what's like the hardest or densest wood? Because if I remember, I think, isn't like walnut or no? Maybe it is walnut wood. I'm not sure. Inwood? Yeah, that does sound familiar. Ironwood. Let's see. I'm looking at ironwood canes right now. They can get pretty expensive too for some nice ones. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that there's a whole process to, you know, treat the wood and manufacture it, or, you know, treat it a certain way. Maybe I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with cane making. Oh, that makes sense. And you said you've practiced with batons or trained with batons as well. That's pretty cool. I think collapsible batons are cool. I wouldn't want to carry around like a big old billy club or something, you know. What's up, Kim? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. How's your night going? Not much. We're just talking about knives here. We're looking at the new Taipan Mini from Bestech here. Let's get some of these out the way. Yeah, I mean, I think police academies do a very surface level of, baton practice and stuff. It's very basic, but I'm sure you can get into some very detailed art and training with batons and how to use them. Yeah, I love my Warnies for sure. I love pretty much all blade shapes. They all have their uses and their different, scenarios that you would use them in. I think my least favorite blade shape would probably be a clip point. Actually, no, I'd take that back. I'd probably say a trailing point. Like on this SRM, this is kind of a trailing point here, where it kind of swoops up a little bit. Kind of like, I guess, maybe a Persian blade. Tantos. I have a few, but not many. Let me show you, I think probably one of my nicest Tantos here. If I can get it up my, let's see. I'm just reaching in my big old box of knives, but this is probably the nicest Tanto I have. This is the MagnaCut. Honestly, I can't even remember the name because it's been so long since I've got it. MagnaCut designs there. That's 35 VN. Tantos, they're nice. I like them. They look really cool. Whoops, sorry. I'm trying to get back at my desk here. Yeah, this is a really nice one. And I agree. I think they're good. They have their uses. Self-defense, especially, definitely that really good for that poking, stabbing. Yeah, this grip right here. It's a very comfortable knife too. I'm just not a huge fan of Tantos. I don't know why. I think they look cool, but I think for everyday carry, maybe it's not my preference. And again, I love that fat purple haze, fat carbon. It looks so good. Great action on this guy too. Yeah, this tip right here. I think, a lot of people would probably use that tip right there to open boxes and packages and stuff like that, so it makes sense for that to go dull pretty quick. I'm just not a huge fan of them because I think sharpening them is probably, it takes a little bit more time. I don't think it's necessarily harder, you know, but you do have two different edges to sharpen. And, you know, I'm kind of lazy in that sense. I'd rather just, like, you know, swipe the blade across in one smooth motion rather than having to do two separate edges. You know, drop points are always nice. And that mirror polish on that DLC blade just looks so nice. What else? The Asher Knives Acuto here. This is, I don't know, I would call this a clip point. It's almost, I don't know. It's like in between a clip point, maybe in a drop point. It's, I don't know. You can say what you want about it, honestly, but I carried this knife for a long time. It's a very slim and sleek profile. It's nice thin blade, very slicey S35 VN, super deep carry in the pocket. I mean, it's like just disappears in the pocket. Any knives you'd want to check out if you could, like unlimited budget? You know, there's a couple, let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of knives that I have on my wish list from like that higher echelon of knife makers and designers and stuff like that. Like Shirgorov, who else? I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I mean, I have a huge list of knives that I'd like to eventually purchase, but I'm not into like the super crazy, you know, one-of-one custom pieces that are like thousands of dollars. I mean, I think the most expensive knife that I have is like I think like a $700 or $800, I think it's like $750 Machina-Wise butterfly knives. I have a few different Machina-Wise butterfly knives. I'm not sure if y'all are into butterfly knives. Whoops. I keep hitting this dang camera. I can show y'all if y'all want. I have a pretty crazy selection or collection, I guess, of some butterfly knives that are pretty expensive. I don't really flip them anymore like I used to, but yeah, Machina-Wise does some crazy machining, so I'm not gonna flip this just because I'm at my table. I don't have a whole lot of room, but this is I believe it's the Opus. I think this was like the first version that came out. But man, the blurple anodization on these tie scales it just looks so crazy. And then this is a Tonto blade here for you Tonto lovers. Really nice milling pattern on the blade. I mean, the milling and the machining that he puts into his knives are just crazy. That's 35V and this is number 12 here. But yeah, I don't flip a whole lot anymore. Yeah, the tolerances are, it's crazy. Yeah, Blurple is my favorite as well. And then I think this is I can't remember what this one was called, but the anodization on this one is crazy too. It goes from this really nice like kind of blurple to this chameleon green. It just looks really cool. But these are pretty much like investment pieces at this point, you know. I don't flip them. I've never like flipped them crazy hard. I have a bunch of training balisongs. What else? This one has a crazy looking blade. And again, pretty sick anode too on the scales or handles. Let's see, I got another one. This is the, I don't even know what this one is called. It's another Machine-Wise Bally though. But I really like the plain like Stonewashed titanium with like the teal accents on the inside. It looks really cool. But yeah, these are like in perfect condition. I've never flipped these seriously. I can't damage. You know, these knives are ridiculously expensive. I don't know why I even got them, to be honest. But let me show y'all some of my training balisongs here. Yeah, they're fun to mess around with and play for sure. This is my very first butterfly knife. This is the Benchmade 51. And if I'm not mistaken, I think these are discontinued. Looks like it got a little spot rust right there. But yeah, this knife is what got me into balisongs for sure. And actually, when I was like, I got this when I was like in my mid-teens, and I ended up cutting myself in my thumb right there opening a package with zip ties. I was trying to open a package and I slipped, and I just ended up like slicing my thumb open right there and got stitches. But yeah, and then just another, this is aluminum handle balisong. And then the trainers, this is a Squid Industries trainer. Glider trainer. Another glider trainer. used to have a lot of fun with these trainers, and I'd be flipping them all the time. But not so much anymore. I just I don't have a whole lot of time anymore. I currently I'll let y'all in on a little bit of kind of what I've been up to, because I haven't been very active on YouTube in regards to uploading videos and stuff like that. This is my second live that I've done. I did my first live yesterday, but the Cone Ballast song, that's the OG right there. That one's cool. But I recently just graduated. I went to machining school, and so my plan is to eventually open up my own knife shop, my own machine shop, and end up, designing or, manufacturing, machining my own knives. That's kind of what I envision doing. Thank you for the congratulations. I appreciate that. So, we'll see if it works out. But I'm pretty new to the machining world, but I mean, so far it's really fun. It's a lot of work, and I can't wait to just continue learning and expanding my knowledge, just soaking up everything like a sponge. What are your guys' favorite blade shapes? I know you said you like Tontos. We should get you a graduation shirt, Gaurav. Nah, that'd be sweet, but I couldn't accept that. I mean, I would appreciate that, and I appreciate the gesture, but I couldn't accept that. Those are freaking expensive knives, man. Simple drop point looks best, but I do see the utility in worn clips and sheep feet. Sheep feet. You could say it either or. Sheep feet, sheep foots. I think sheep foot probably be a little bit more correct, but you know what? Who cares? I understand what you're saying. That's all that matters. Are you guys into fixed blades? Do you guys like fixed blades? I have a ton of fixed blades here. Let's see. This is the White River, the Cub, I think smaller version. This is the Cub, I believe. Yeah. With the burlap micarta handles. Man, the handle on this knife fills your hand out just so nicely. What's up, Leonetto? I hope I'm saying that right. Leo, I'm just gonna say Leo. I hope I'm saying that right. Thanks for joining, man. What's going on? How's your night going? Oh, the Bark River scandal. Yeah, it's man, that's a shame. I don't have any Bark Rivers, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at that. But you know, yeah, that's pretty shady, man, to do stuff like that. You know, I don't understand why people would ever risk their reputation like that. And this is an aftermarket sheath, by the way, for this knife. I really like this kind of, it's Kydex, but it looks like has the leather grain and stuff. And it came with this Scout carry setup, but you can also put like an ulti clip here to do like an in-pocket carry if you want. And I threw this leather cord on there with this Ultim bead. I think it looks really nice. Really cool knife. But yeah, again, the ergonomics, it just fills your hand out really well. And I think it's a great size MagnaCut steel. And I think White River does a good heat treat with their MagnaCut as well. Hey, greetings, Leon from France. Nice. Well, good morning. Thanks for joining, man. Hope your day goes well. And yeah. Let's see what else. Next, we got this is the Asher knives. You know what? I'm not even sure. I haven't even touched my fixed blades in so long, but great little pocket carry. Nice taco style sheath. Kydex sheath. Oops. CPM 3V. Nice drop point blade with the Stonewashed finish. I love Stonewashed finish. I think Stonewashed finishes are probably my favorite. I'm not a huge satin finish person. Like, I mean, you know, these satin is nice. I think they look nice, but personally, I really like Stonewashed finishes. What do y'all think about this Asher knives? I think it's called the Cub, or like the Scout, maybe. I'm not sure. I'll have to get back on that. Who knows the maker of this knife right here? Just by that little logo, or the maker's mark. So this I'll get to you 1 second, Leon. This is actually an LT Wright knife. I had to look it up because I totally forgot. It's an A2 tool steel, but man, this is a great, solid little knife. Really comfortable in the hands. What is the knife next to the Excalibur? This one? This one is the One Track Mind Ire. It is manufactured by Kunwu. DLC blade with the mirror polish on it, titanium frame lock with these carbon fiber overlays. Apparently there's a V2 Ire. That one looks pretty crazy too. It looks nice. And then this one, I'm not sure if you're talking about this one or this one, but this is the Devo Knives Tall Boy. And these Purple Haze fat carbon scales. We got, what is it, S90V on the blade steel. I forgot the blade steel on the Ire here. I want to say it's Vanix. There's no marking. This is completely sterile. There's no, like, nothing on there. Yeah. Nothing on the backside either. Nothing on the inside. But yeah, let me show you guys some more fixed blades here. Comes in this nice leather sheath. So here we got two knives from TJ Shores, and this one, let's do this one. This one is the Overland Sport. It's a really nice smaller fixed blade that you can definitely carry in the pocket. I mean, really nice size to it. And you can like customize all the different things like the the pivot collars or the washer colors, the screw colors. You know, they have different material options for the handle scales there. MagnaCut steel. It's yeah, really great size knife. And then he came out with the Overland X, which is like the same knife but a little bit bigger. And I just love this blade shape, this, you know, sheep's foot style kind of drop point. I don't know, like this blade shape just looks so good. I love the blade shape on these. I think it's very versatile and great for utility cuts. But this one's a little bit bigger than the Sport. This is the Overland X. And I went ahead and just got basically the same setup as the Sport. I just really like the color combination with the, I think it's green micarta, I can't remember, with the brass washers and the black screws and this OD green. paracord, MagnaCut on both of them. All right, thanks for joining, Leon, and thanks for the sub, man. I appreciate it. You have a good day, brother. Let's see. And I love the OD green with the brass pivots, or the brass eyelets, I guess. Really nice. What else? Next we got this is the Griffin Co. Scout, I believe. I think these are pretty hard to find or might be discontinued. I'm not sure exactly, but I got this a long time ago. And that Kydex sheath is pretty stiff. But this is a little bit smaller than, let me show you the Scout here. Yeah, just a hair maybe. But great little carry in the pocket. MagnaCut steel, or no, this is S35VN, my apologies. Just a really nice little pocket carry. The ergonomics feel good. Next, we got the, hold on. All right, we're back. So, let's see, I like the Scout. I've seen a couple of them in stock here and there recently, so I don't know if they're out of business or if they just sell slowly. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the Scout is a really nice little knife. And then I also have another Griffin Co. knife. This is the Medic, I believe. This is a really nice little like neck knife on a ball chain here, but just a nice little, yeah, this is a really nice little, just, you can use this for just all types of smaller stuff, and really convenient. Super lightweight, nice little paracord. You can just, you know, pull on that paracord. It gives you a little bit more real estate to grab onto. But yeah, sweet little knife for sure. And then this is the Focuser Outdoor. I forgot what model it is. I can look it up for y'all real quick. Let me move some of this stuff for y'all. Let me organize this so I can give y'all a better presentation here. This is the FC 133. Yeah, CV is a really great blade steel. But yeah, the FC 133 CPM 3V. And this is a great outdoors bushcraft knife for sure. Nice Scandi grind. Really beefy handle. It just fills out the hand very nicely. And it swells up here in the middle. Just feels really good. Focuser Outdoor FC 133. Comes with a nice sheath. Got a little place for a ferro rod right there. I think these are like maybe $100 or so. Oh yeah, the Medic, yeah, this could be a really nice little bird and shot knife for sure. Nice little finesser knife. Yeah, $93 is what I paid for this a long time ago. $93 for 3V. I think that's a pretty dang good deal, especially, you know, how big this knife is. I mean, this is a tank of a knife. Look at that blade stock. This is a thick boy. 90-degree spine. So the Griffin Coast Scout. Here, I'll show you again. They make both of these knives. Griffin Co. They make this one and this one as well. You can kind of see the similar blade shapes there. Yeah, for sure, David. Yeah, pretty good deal for this CPM 3V, $93. What else we got here? This is the Red Hawk, I believe, by Tactile Knives, and it came originally with the Kydex sheath, but I ended up getting this leather sheath just because I think it looks really nice. But yeah, another really awesome blade shape that I love. MagnaCut steel with this OD green. I want to say Cerakote, OD green Cerakote. Yeah, most likely Cerakote. And Best Damn Design Co. Taylor Martin, I believe, is his name, who runs Best Damn Design. But yeah, the ergonomics, really nice. Feels great in the hands. Nice jimping. Really nice, thick leather sheath here. You can throw it in the pocket. Then we got the Cold Steel SRKC here in 3V. You can tell I haven't used this one bit. It's because the factory oil is still on there. But another really great survival type outdoors knife in 3V. I really like this grip. The handle texture has like this rubberized texture. Nice guard here, keep you from slipping up the blade, but it feels great in the hands. I want to put a OD green lanyard on this eventually as well. I have a whole bunch of fixed blades that just don't get any use, and it makes me sad. I want to use them. I want to go outdoors, and you know, the area that I live in, maybe one day I'll tell my story, but I don't live in a very outdoorsy area, and it's not really by choice. But I wish I could go outdoors in the woods or forest. That's where my heart belongs. I'm a forest or mountain person. I love being outdoors, and where I'm at, it's just basically a concrete jungle. So this is the axial something. Totally forgot the name of this. Axial, made in the USA, MagnaCut. I'm pretty sure they heat treat their MagnaCut really well. Another great sheep's foot style blade here. Very low profile, minimal. This is really a small handle, but it still feels really good in the hands. G10 scales. Yeah, CPF MagnaCut. I want to say DLC blade coating. But great little pocket dropper. Yeah, I think I got some more fixed blades somewhere, but that's kind of all the... what's up, Ground Fog? No, this is the axial... let's see. No, not the Alpine Ultralight. I think that's a brand new one that just came out recently. You know, I think it is the Alpine, but not the ultralight version. The ultralight just came out recently, if I'm not mistaken. I do have two of their OTFs though. Their OTFs are pretty good too. Yeah, I just haven't been quite in the knife world as I was before, but I'm trying to get back into it slowly just because I have a little bit more time now than I did before. I was super busy with school and all that stuff. What kind of fixed blades do you guys like? What are your favorites? Do you guys like, excuse me, do you guys like smaller pocketable fixed blades? It's kind of like something, you know, like the Axial here, or maybe like the Overland Sport. Or do you guys like big beefy fixed blades? Maybe something like the SRK. I wouldn't say this is like a huge beefy one, but it's, you know, it's a probably a, you know, a medium to large fixed blade, relatively speaking. SRK, SRKC, Mora, Tontos, Cranth, Bowies. I have a few Mora knives. Those are really cool. Great budget fixed blades for sure. Actually, let me show y'all something that I did a long time ago. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. I got it. Some more fixed blades for y'all here. All right, got some more fixed blades here. So this is another White River. I think this is a really good bird and trout knife, I would say, David. This is the Backpacker, I think, the P1, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a Backpacker for sure, but great little bird and trout knife. This feels really good in the hands. Great for that finesse work. Nice little pocket dropper as well. Then we got this Moraniv, whatever, however you want to say it. I forgot what model this was, but this is with the carbon steel, and I did a forced patina on it, like a tiger stripe forced patina, and I think it came out pretty good. I like it. I don't know, what do y'all think? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments of this forced patina tiger stripe carbon steel. Yeah, I wanted to do something fun or interesting. And I was really into, like, back then, I was super into forced patinas and like doing shipwreck patinas with copper scales, you know, like that turquoise blue copper patina. Man, that stuff looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm a sucker for that shipwreck copper patina. I think that stuff looks just chef's kiss. So that's kind of like that time frame that I was in a long time ago, but this is another K-bar ester. I think these are discontinued, but it came with some plastic scales. Ultim or PEI. Yeah, Ultim's really cool. I have a few knives with some Ultim scales. Another really great outdoors knife. I did this custom paracord wrapped handle on it. And got this custom Kydex sheath for it. An OD green. Man, I haven't opened up this knife in forever. Cold Steel 4 Max Scout. This thing is a freaking beast of a knife. I would definitely take this out on a hike, or if I was going out camping or whatever. This thing is so crazy big. Gotta use my whole dang arm to open this. Austin, it's a nice knife, man. Like, this thing, I feel like I could probably put like a paracord lanyard on this and wrap it around my wrist and just use it as like a mini chopper, honestly. Plus you got that, I don't know, I think it's a triad lock system, if I'm not mistaken. So, pretty indestructible locking system. Plus I think you can put a pin right there. Crazy huge knife. And then this is like a cheap Amazon little fixed blade from Watchman. It's not one focus, but yeah, a really great little fixed blade, 14C 28N. You can just kind of abuse. I think these are pretty budget friendly as well. Yeah, the shark lock. Is it the shark lock or is it triad lock? I can't remember. And then this one here is a nice little, I don't know, I guess you could say like a self-defense knife. I don't know if I'd really want to use this. I mean, it's better than nothing if this is all you got, but I like the aspect of it. It's a fun kind of little knife, but basically it just sits over your belt with this clip in a horizontal position like that in front, kind of like on your belt buckle almost, or maybe off to the side at like 2 or 3 o'clock position maybe. of your belt, and you know, you just basically go in, pull it out like that, and you're ready to rumble. I think this is what, 14C28N. This is made by Routine is the company, it looks like. It's not wanting to focus. Come on. Routine. Sandvik 14C28N. The medics are out of stock. Dang. That's a bummer. Yeah, I think a lot of people like the medics just because they're nice and tiny, compact. And I don't think he probably, you know, makes a whole bunch at a time as well. It's probably a limited batch. I think it's a smaller company. Oh, quick question. How is the sound quality? Because I'm using a new mic setup, and I just wanted to get y'all's opinion to see what it sounds like. Is there a lot of background noise? I do have noise cancellation on, so hopefully it kind of drowns out some of the noise from my air conditioning unit. I know that's probably still heard in the background, and I apologize. Have you seen the, this is the Tack Knives Intruder. I really like the overall design of this. I think it looks great. Feels ergonomic in the hand. Solid knife. And again, I love that sheep's foot blade. Yeah. Multiple deployments on this one. Tack Knives Viper, huh? I don't know if I remember what that looks like. This is the sail fin. It's a White Mountain Knives exclusive. It's a Tanto style. Nice. But I really like the blade shape on this one too. It's a nice, almost like a spear point. I mean, you could basically call it like a spear point or a drop point, but the tip is pretty much in the center of that pivot there. I would almost call it a spear point or a drop point. A drop spear. We're just making up names here. Oops. Spear drop. And nice. This has a Stonewashed finish on the the blade here on the bevel, and then a satin finish. It's like a hand ground satin finish on the flat there on the top. I really like that dual tone finish. It looks really nice. That dark acid wash kind of look on the scales. Looks really nice. Very nice. What do you think about button locks in general, either plunge style or top liner locks? Oh, nice. Kershaw remnant. Yeah, my first knife was a Kershaw leak. Kershaw makes some good knives. I got a Kershaw leak and a Kershaw Bel Air. I really like my Bel Air. That thing is so sweet. But yeah, I used to, when I first got into knives and started collecting knives, I was, you know, there was a period of time, you know, a few years back when button locks were just there was a huge craze, a huge wave of, you know, all these button locks coming out, you know, and I don't know, I feel like it kind of died off, and I still have some of my plunge lock style button locks, but if I get any type of button lock from now on, it's only most likely going to be like a top liner button lock, like this porcupine here, just because I've had several plunge locks fail on me. I mean, they're kind of a weaker locking system. They're fun to fidget with, you know, and I think that's kind of the attraction to them, is that fidgetability. But I've kind of grown out of that, to be honest. They're fun to play with every once in a while, but I like more secure and solid locking mechanisms. Either a frame lock or liner lock. Like this Kershaw drop bear. This is a button top liner lock. Do you like MagSace at all? This is the Black Mirror in MagnaCut. I think their MagnaCut's kind of soft, but I really like the design. And the Arctic Storm fat carbon fiber looks really nice. All right, David, well, have a good night. I appreciate you sticking around this long, and thanks for joining. I appreciate your company. Have a good night, brother. Oh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully, I'll do some more lives and you can join. You too, man. Take care. What's up? Want to know why knives? I don't know if you're still here or not, but I believe David is no longer with us in the chat. I think he went to bed. What's up? Want to know why knives? Earlier I unboxed the new Besttech Mini Taipan here. I don't know if you're familiar with this model, but Bestech just released this mini version, and this is their first model, and this is like a full-size model pretty much, but MagnaCut blade with this it's like a bead blasted stonewashed finish, I think is what they call it on the blade, and kind of this satin finish on the scales there, titanium frame lock, really nice pocket clip, has a little flat spot underneath the pocket clip there so it's not shredding up your pants. Titanium backspacer there. Action is really good on it. Got multiple deployments, thumb flick, reverse flick. Then they came out with a mini model, and this is really nice so far. I really enjoy it, and I don't think, I mean, they're calling it a mini model, the Mini Taipan, but to be honest, it feels kind of like a standard size, kind of a medium size knife, if you will. It's not too small. And I think it fits really good in the hands. So you can still get a full 4-finger grip. I have, you know, medium to large size hands, and you can still get a good purchase on it. The blade length is, let me get my tape measure here. Oops. I don't know, I'd say about 3 1/4. 3 1/4 inch blade length, and then the full size here is almost 3 3/4. So about 1/2 inch longer or shorter. But This is like a darker acid washed finish or darker stone wash finish on the scales, which I really like. And then you still got that, I think they're still calling it a stone wash bead blasted finish on the blade, MagnaCut steel. And the top flipper here, or the front flipper, is done a little bit differently, and I actually prefer this front flipper a lot more. That angle right there really it seems like you get a lot more leverage, and this thing just rockets out. Got a bunch of internal milling there. This thing's pretty lightweight too. And the Backspacer is done a little bit differently, as you can see. They actually integrated a little lanyard, a hidden lanyard spot right there. Thanks for joining, Wanna Know Knives. Appreciate you stopping by. Alright guys, well, I think that's it for this live stream. We've been going at it for a little over 2 hours now, so thanks for joining. I appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Knife Fanatic out. Peace.